After 5 years together, I was ready to take our relationship to the next level at 28. I'd been planning a special vacation for months, envisioning it as the perfect opportunity to propose to her. The idea was to whisk her away to Colorado, where we could immerse ourselves in winter activities, skiing, snowboarding, and everything that made the season magical. It was supposed to be a trip just for the two of us, a celebration of our love and commitment. But 5 days before our departure, Jennifer casually mentioned something that shattered my plans in an instant. Two of her close friends were invited to meet her at that location. The fact that I wanted to spend some quality time with Jennifer on our anniversary caused me a great deal of frustration. It seemed to me that it was abundantly evident that this was a trip that was only for us, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I couldn't believe she had invited her friends without even telling me. I tried to hide my disappointment, but it was hard. This wasn't how things were supposed to go. Jennifer argued that her friends had already made plans to visit and that they would not back out of their commitments, despite the fact that I stated my reservations. Because there was no way for me to prevent her friends from coming, I made the decision to accommodate this circumstance. On this issue, I wish I had battled more. I realized we could adjust our plans, allowing me to submit my proposal to her privately. Upon arriving in Colorado, clouds of fear began to hover over me from the moment we met up with her friends. It was like I had faded into the background. Jennifer was all smiles and laughter, caught up in the excitement of being with Kent and Victoria. The quiet, secret moments I had envisioned were replaced by group activities and constant chatter. Every time I tried to steal a moment alone with Jennifer, it seemed like something or someone got in the way. For 3 days, I tried to make the best of it, hoping for even a brief moment alone with Jennifer. But that moment never came. She was too busy with her friends and too caught up in the group dynamic to notice the growing distance between us. By the 3rd day, I couldn't take it anymore. The trip had become something entirely different from what I had planned, and the proposal I had been so excited about seemed impossible. So I made the difficult decision to cut the trip short and head home. It was a painful choice, but I knew I couldn't continue on like that. When I informed Jennifer why I was going, she became agitated. She notified her pals about my decision, and I was ganged up. They said everyone was having a great time. She thinks I'm a jerk for forcing her to choose between her friends and me, even though her friends weren't invited in the first place. Prior to this trip, I had no personal difficulties with any of her acquaintances. I never forced Jennifer to choose between me and her friends, since everyone needs friends outside of their relationship. I'm at home now, thinking about everything. I have a day to myself before Jennifer returns home, so I can rest a little. Jennifer and her pals believe I am overreacting and that I wrecked the trip. Jennifer, I believe, was disrespectful and nasty to me by derailing the objective of this vacation and causing her friends to band together against me. Am I a jerk for departing a trip I arranged for my girlfriend after her buddies showed up? Edit. This was a planned anniversary and romantic getaway. I made it plain that we had plans only for the two of us. We've taken other anniversary excursions together without her buddies there. We had already talked marriage, so a proposal would not have come as a surprise. More information. We discussed our prospective future together after being together for 2 years. So, 3 years ago, we both wanted to marry and travel. We moved in together 1.5 years ago, since we both feel that living together before marriage allows you to understand how the other person lives and whether or not you are compatible. This was a planned anniversary and romantic trip, so the purpose was apparent. We've been on other trips for our anniversary. When her friends showed up, I was direct with her that I didn't want her friends coming, and I was direct regarding my reasons for leaving. I didn't tell her I was going to propose. We had already talked marriage and agreed that neither of us wanted a grandiose proposal, so it would not have come as a full surprise to her. Maybe I messed up since I didn't want to notify Jennifer's friends before asking her to marry me. I wish I had told her friends privately about my reasons for not wanting them to hang out with us. That was a poor decision on my side. Nonetheless, they needed to know it was an anniversary and romantic trip. However, I do not know everything she tells her pals. I'm hoping she doesn't tell them everything, because they don't need to know every detail about me or my secrets. I wish there was a better balance between me and her pals. During my time with them on this vacation, I would estimate that half of the activities featured all 4 of us, and the other half involved just the 3 of them. I could have followed them around, but that's a bad scenario and not enjoyable. And I don't detest her pals. I really don't want to spend all of my free time with her pals. I have never demanded or expected her to choose me over her friends since it is unhealthy and unrealistic, but she has often canceled on me in favor of her buddies. In terms of past disagreements, she has rarely involved them. We can resolve issues between us around 98% of the time. She has involved her buddies for the remaining 2%. Perhaps she gathered her friends because she does not want me to propose, and I understand cold feet, but she could have at least talked to me. I'd hate to make more significant decisions with her and have her be too afraid to talk to me like an adult, only to change her mind later. I cannot force her to marry me. I simply wish she had spoken to me about her anxieties if she had any. Now that I'm home, I value my alone time. Having alone time is essential for gathering my thoughts and sorting my emotions. I didn't want to blow up at her on the way home. So far, she has attempted to call me twice, but I declined. The only thing I told her before I left was that we would discuss it when she returned. These types of interactions must take place in person. Anyway, I think I deserve better. I guess we'll see what happens when she goes home tomorrow. A minor update. My pals are here at the house, and they have been monitoring for any interference in case her friends try to bombard and harass me. They've been fantastic, and I'm very happy to have them. Minor update 2. Jennifer's buddies did not come to the house or harass me yesterday or last night, which is good. Jennifer has not arrived home yet. I worked out what I wanted to say and wrote it down. Update. Am I a jerk for departing a trip I arranged for my girlfriend after her buddies showed up? I decided I wanted to end the entire relationship. I packed my vital items, including my passport and clothes, and made arrangements with my best buddy to stay at his flat until I could find my own. When minor troubles arise in a relationship, they typically lead to a larger problem. The major reason I decided to leave our relationship was that I knew her buddies will always be closer to her than me. Jennifer has often chosen her friends above me and canceled several of our arrangements for their benefit. I lied to myself for years because I didn't want to confront reality. I hope she'd change, but this vacation made me realize that I will always be in third place to her. I stated my feelings several times, and Jennifer pledged to change. However, she didn't. Jennifer arrived home late yesterday. I stated I had a lot to say and wanted to finish my notes before she spoke or tried to stop me. The first question I asked Jennifer was about how she believed the trip went. She stated we had a great time and it was memorable. I shouldn't have to feel like the third wheel in my own relationship, especially when I organized the vacation. My second query was about why you invited your buddies in the first place. You knew it was an anniversary trip for us. She had discussed the vacation with her pals since the beginning, and they had never gone to Colorado. She thought it would be a nice idea to let them come and have fun in Colorado with us. I followed up by saying that I had no idea her buddies were coming until a few days prior. It's one thing if people showed up and conducted their own things. It's another if every activity became a group activity. I committed to a monogamous relationship rather than a polyamorous one. My final inquiry was, did you know I was going to propose to you? Jennifer stated that she knew nothing. It never occurred to her that I would inquire. She stated she would not have brought her pals if she had known. But I replied that telling you would destroy the surprise. Jennifer persuaded me to stay with her, and she feels we can work it out. She did not want me to waste 5 years on this one horrible trip. For years, I listened to her vows to improve her behavior toward her friends, but nothing occurred. I eventually left Jennifer with this. It's evident that you don't have room in your heart for both your partner and your buddies. As much as I adore Jennifer, I can't continue in a relationship where I am not valued sufficiently. I left Jennifer alone in the house and drove to my friend's residence. I'll figure out how to remove my name from the lease and arrange to acquire the remainder of my possessions. I will return the ring this weekend, expanded on Opie's comments. Part of the reason she stayed was because I stated I wanted to go home alone and think. I understand that couples should not leave after a disagreement, but it was necessary for me to be alone for a while to collect my thoughts. She also didn't ask if I was still planning to propose. She was upset when she realized I was ready to do it, but she didn't say anything. The fairy tale half of me hopes that everything could have miraculously improved. Some things are fixable, but I didn't observe any movement on Jennifer's end. I said I'd text her when I was ready to grab my belongings. I have blocked her. I feel that people should not prioritize their friendships over their long-term relationships. You can have both, but the love between friends and partners must be equally matched. It would have been terrible of me to force her to choose between me and her friends, because everyone requires friendships and interactions outside of their love partner. However, failing to prioritize the spouse is extremely detrimental. At this point, I'd rather be single and happy than in a relationship and not feel appreciated or loved. I have to mention that a lot of people in this comment area and in my private messages basically advised me to give this relationship another try because we had spent so many years together and wanted to marry. These people are falling victim to the sunk cost fallacy, and I believe it is because they are terrified of being single. Therefore, they typically settle for a poor spouse who does not truly appreciate or love them. They are very optimistic that their partner will change. Therefore, they wait indefinitely for their wishes to come true. I believe more individuals should learn how to be single. If I discover someone I truly love and marry at the age of 60, so be it. Final update. Hello, everyone. I received my belongings from my residence this past weekend. I'm glad I didn't have too much stuff or heavier items. Jennifer and I talked a lot about our relationship and what had transpired on the trip. Jennifer stated that she is going to see a therapist and hopes to become a better girlfriend in the future. I am not opposed to getting back together in the future, but I have no intention of becoming one of those people that is continually on and off. If life brings us back together, so be it. People who reconcile must spend months, if not years, apart in order to mature and change. I made no guarantees to Jennifer regarding the potential of reconciliation, since she should change for herself, not for me.